Hi, this is Eric from LED Grow Lights Depot, and today I'm going to be unboxing a Unifarm UFO-80. This light is brand new as of May 2017. It's actually not even out on the market yet for sale. Well, you can buy it, but it'd just be pre-orders at this point. However, the unit should be available at the end of May. So let's just get started. Alright, first thing I noticed is that there's a user's guide, which is great because sometimes you don't get a guide with lights that you buy. So it looks like you have your recommendations for hanging height, a few warnings, installation instructions. Looks like you have the warranty right here just in case you have any problems. So the light looks like it's fairly well packed. You have this foam around it, and then the light itself. So let me just take this out here. Hold on, I'll be right back. Alright, and then all the accessories. It's all from the box. So first of all, we have some hangers. We have some hardware for mounting, some more hardware, some metal hangers for attaching to the light, and a power cord. Now for the light itself, first thing I noticed is that you got a veg and flower switch. And then on the other side, you've got the diodes. So this is a really interesting reflector pattern. This is unlike anything I've ever seen before, really. You can see how these reflectors are set up. The unit itself feels pretty sturdy. It's heavy, it's solid. I mean, this could definitely do some damage if you dropped it on your foot, so I don't recommend doing that. So this unit draws 170 watts. Actually 175 watts at 120 volts AC, or about 170 watts at 240 volts. A great thing about this light is that it uses Cree and Osram high output LEDs. So good brands, good quality. You shouldn't have to worry about any diodes going out or anything overheating or anything like that. Let's see, the spectrum. The spectrum ranges from blue to red. You got a little bit of green in there too because you have some white diodes. Looks like the red peaks are at about 620, 630, and about 660 nanometers, whereas the blues fall in about like 450 to 475 nanometers. I just have one par reading here. I assume this par reading was taken at the center of the light, and I'm not sure of the distance that it was taken at, but the reading that Unifarm took was 1,469 micromoles per second. So fairly intense, but again, that doesn't really tell you, how much par or PPF or PPFD that you're going to be getting at a further distance and around the light. So that's something that we can test in the grow tent in a second. As far as coverage area goes, the max coverage is about 4.5 by 5 feet. So Unifarm says 4.6 by 5.2, but I'm just rounding it up or rounding it off to about 4.5 by 5 feet. So that's about 20 square feet of coverage. As far as core coverage, which would be your flower, the max coverage would be veg. So your core coverage for flower would be about 2.4 by 2.9 feet, or you could say about 2.5 by 3 feet. So that's a little over 6 feet, maybe more like 7 feet. This unit isn't daisy chainable, so you can't connect several units to it, so each unit has to be wired separately. Input voltage, pretty standard, about 85 to 265 volts AC. The unit weighs 8.1 pounds, so for a unit this small, I'd say it's pretty heavy, and I think most of the weight comes from the heat sinks and the case. Again, it's really good quality. Wouldn't be too worried about it breaking if you dropped it. I mean, obviously if you dropped it on the diodes right here or on the reflectors, you might have a problem. You might crack these because they are plastic. They're highly reflective, so any scratches inside here or any significant damage to the reflectors could influence how the light is being beamed out. Also, the diodes are exposed, so you would want to be careful. So now I have the light set up in my 4x4 grow tent. You can see that I installed the hardware here. It's just a couple screws on this side and a couple screws on this side. I'm not sure what these pieces are for. It doesn't really look like they fit anywhere, so I just left them off. So let's turn this on. So we can turn the veg switch on first. And this light is not exactly designed for a 4x4, but this is just the space that it's in right now. So you can see that it's lighting it up pretty well. And now if we turn that off, switch on the flower mode, it's looking pretty good. And then now both of them. Alright, so we have the light about 4 feet above the ground here, and I just wanted to take some par measurements. So on the ground, directly below the light at 4 feet, looks like we're at 234 par, which isn't that high, but again, this is 4 feet from the light, which is not a recommended hanging distance, but this will tell you about, you know, that you're getting about that much par 4 feet into the canopy. So that's pretty good. So bringing this up, on here, bringing this up right under the light, we're just over 400. And at about 18 inches, still at about 400. So this is about the recommended flowering distance. Just taking some par measurements at about 18 inches around the footprint. Pretty low in the corner there, which is pretty standard. About 200. It's going to be low in the corner here. It's about 200, a little bit lower, low in the corner. 200 plus. And then back to the middle at about 18 inches, around 400. And then if you want, you could see how quickly this drops off. So right up underneath the unit, got 400, about 18 inches, 2 feet, 3 feet, and to the floor. That's 4 feet. I've had the light on for about 15 minutes now. I'm just going around the unit, feeling it. It only feels warm on the bottoms. There's some heat coming off the LEDs, but not much at all. It's pretty much cool to the touch, so I can touch these without burning myself. Up here it feels really cool. The fan's sucking in and blowing out the sides here. If this was enclosed in a smaller space, it will heat up a little bit, but with the tent being open like this, it doesn't feel hot at all. It actually feels cool when I put my hand on the unit, just from the moving air. So I'd highly recommend this unit for somebody flowering in about a 6 square foot or 7 square foot area. You don't want to get much bigger than that. You can definitely veg a larger area with this light. I mean, I could definitely veg my tent with this light, which is a 4x4. But for flower, you probably want to stay around 6 square feet. And at about 400 micromoles, you're not getting a huge amount of par. It's not like you're up in the 800 or 1000. But at that range, you're going to be wanting to supplement with CO2 anyways to get the full benefits. So again, this light would be perfect for that space and would give you pretty good yields. This is the smallest unit that Unit Farm offers. The next light up is about 1/3 this size, and the next light up after that is about twice this one size, and then the next unit up is 4 times this size. So if you want to flower a larger area, go with those larger units. So overall, I'd give this unit 2 thumbs up. It's a solid fixture, a good amount of par for the size. You know, you got your veg, your flower switch, so you can control the spectrum a little bit and your how much energy you're drawing. So yeah, again, overall, great unit.